What we're going to make here today is like a sausage pasta sauce, and in the end, instead of using pasta noodles, we're going to use cauliflower as our noodle base, steamed cauliflower. So I guess let's get started here. The fire. Down on low. What we have here is some sausage I already diced up. I'm going to season this heavy because I bought this. It was a bargain, but I think they forgot to season it. When you cook it, it just tastes like fried pork fat. So what we're going to do is season it up. We're going to start with a half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. And toss this around a little bit. Notice I didn't put no oil or anything in here because this sausage has got enough fat in it. Once it heats up, it'll make it its own. This is a half a tablespoon of ground fennel seed, which I use the mortise and pestle for. Just try to coat it on the meat, not the pan, but if it toasts a little, that gives flavor too. And this is a half a teaspoon of dried rosemary. And in here we have 1 teaspoon of caraway seeds, dried caraway seeds. And I'm just going to give them a little grind like this. You can smell it already. It smells like sausage and this caraway seeds, smashing them in this mortise and pestle. That's why I do it over the pan, so when they pop, they go in the pan. And this is all going to add flavor to the sauce later too. We're using store-bought jarred sauce. Going to brown this up nice. Now that I'm done pouring ingredients, I'll crank this up on high. So what we're going to do is put this in a slow cooker with the sauce in a few minutes. So we only want to brown it for flavor. We don't have to cook it all the way through. It'll cook in the slow cooker. Well, it looks like the sausage is making a liar out of me. I'm going to get a splash of extra virgin olive oil. It's only going to add a little flavor to the sauce anyway. A little healthy olive oil. Help give it a nice brown. One of the reasons I diced this sausage too is to help get that flavor into it. Left the casings on, made them like mini sausages. I call it bite size, but it might be too big for somebody else to be one bite. After all, I'm big Jim Country boy. This burner is like 30,000 BTUs, and as you see, it gets scalding hot almost instantly. You'll notice in my other video where we were cooking on the wood burning stove, you can see why I was impatient about heating up the pan, because I got all the heat I need there. We need smell-o-vision. Smelling nice in here. When you make the recipe, you'll see what it smells like. I hope you try it. This is a very, going to be a low-carb meal. You get to enjoy pasta without the pasta. This is pasta-free pasta we're cooking. For those that are watching their blood sugar or carb intake. It seems like a lot of sausage, but this is going to feed a family of 4 for more than one meal probably. At least 2 of us will have leftovers for lunch the next day. You got to make extra so they have leftovers for lunch the next day, because it always tastes better the second day. I think anyway. That's a really good restaurant quality pan. It's got that thick piece of aluminum on the bottom, impregnated into the stainless. Holds the heat for a while, so I've already turned off the burner. Maybe like an old cast iron frying pan might hold the heat for a while. That's how this deal works. Wonder what the temperature is. Right about where we were at with the wood stove that day. If you can see that. (336.6 degrees). So now what we're going to do with that is we're going to take that off the stove, out of the pan. We're going to add it to the slow cooker. Don't worry about shaking all the grease out. Save some of that. So we're going to use that to saute some onions with the rest of them spices. Some peppers. Sorry about that. Onion didn't want to give up. Had to get rough with it. Now we're going to cook this a while in the slow cooker. So you don't want no small dices like you might do on your hot dog or nothing. You want them a little larger. I think I forgot to get it out. I need some fresh garlic. I like to break them up a little bit. Now we're going to add some peppers. knife's a little off. What happens is, it's not that it's really dull, but from this motion, what happens to the edge of the blade is this curls over slightly like that, or backwards. And then you have a tool for that. It doesn't really sharpen it. It's not force sharpening like most people think. What it does is it realigns that edge on that blade. It makes it seem sharper, but that gets curled over a little bit from chopping. And what this does is realigns it. Now we'll see how she cuts. Pretty good for my liking. I never waste this part. I always break it off. For those of you who are wondering, yes, I pre-washed everything. You should always pre-wash your produce. Yeah, that cuts a lot nicer now. Look at that. And that's cut through the skin side first, which generally is a little tougher to cut through than the other side. Cut it this way too. I think that way generally slices easier though. We have some whole peeled garlic here. I'm just going to give it a rough chop. I like those bigger pieces. It's going to cook down in the sauce anyway. That goes into our pan. See here, what did our pan cool down to? Cooled down to 148 degrees. Cooled down to 148 degrees. And start her out on high. Don't worry about that little piece, it'll light. Hear that pan's hot already? We're We're already at 285 degrees and climbing. $313, not fast. I love it. Uses a little bit of propane though. When I got the wood stove cranked hot, I like to use that. It's free energy. Don't get me wrong, the propane stove is very efficient, but if I can choose from paying a little or paying nothing, I'll choose nothing every time. I'm still here. I'm just moving some stuff around, making room, moving garlic and stuff out of my way. I'm not going to be using it anymore. You can add whatever you like to this, really. There's no limits. Asparagus might be nice. Broccoli rabe. Hell, even Brussels sprouts would probably taste good in this mix. Just gotta watch Brussels sprouts though. I wouldn't use them because you overcook Brussels sprouts, they get that real off taste when you overcook them. You should only slightly blanch Brussels sprouts, but that's another video. Spinach would be nice, I think. How are we looking here, folks? I'm glad you all came into my kitchen today. I like cooking for people. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. We just want to get a nice caramelization on these. It's going to add the flavor. To our meal. Be careful not to burn it, especially if you're cranking the heat like I am. I know some electric ranges really got some power. One place I lived, I used to have an electric range with one of them glass tops on it. That thing was just screaming hot. You could hear it. Ah! Yeah, that hot. Now we could have put these raw inside the slow cooker and they would have cooked and broke down, but the flavor, you want that flavor, sauteed onions and peppers, caramelized, and with the garlic. And the only way to get to that is to take the time and saute everything. Excuse me, a little tickle in my throat today. Now these are just sweet bell peppers too. Don't get scared by the red and the orange. They're just different colors. Some people got it in their head they don't like green ones, so I don't use green ones. I think these are a little sweeter. Don't have that little after bitter tone like green peppers do. My wife actually don't like green peppers, and she complained. But she tolerates these, or she enjoys them. I don't know, one of the two. So that's looking pretty good. I'm going to turn the heat off again. And we're going to add this to our delicious food in our crock pot, or slow cooker here. Nah, you want to get all that extra goodness out of there. You don't want to leave nothing behind. Take the extra minute, get it all out, waste not, want not. Okay, what we got here is some store-bought tomato sauce. This is did remove the labels. We're not trying to advertise for nobody or get into any copyright infringements, but this was 88 cents a jar. That's it. And then what I like to do don't worry about thinning down the sauce. It's going to be much thicker than it is now when we're done cooking it in a slow cooker. I take about 1/3 of a jar and shake it up. I pour that 1/3 of a jar into the second jar with the second lid and shake it up. Then I take that jar, pour it into the third jar, put the lid on and shake it up, then add that into the sauce so it don't get too dry and burn in the slow cooker. And I also rinsed out my recycling in the process. Now we're just going to give this a nice stir. Don't try this one of them flimsy plastic spoons like this or like this. Reason being is the sausage is a little thick and these are like catapults. Can you see that? That's how you wear it. You want a bath in marinara sausage and sauce, you can do it. But I recommend something solid. People were worried about them because they can hold bacteria, but that's why you make dishwashers for. Sanitize it with heat and sanitizer. Now, just so you know, I'm not done yet. We need here is a good helping of oregano. And the way we're going to measure this is I'm going to cover the top of the pan like that. And then I'm going to stir it in. For you people at home, want to know how much it is, I covered it with little sprinkles. Okay. Now, we're going to add some basil. We're going to do the same thing. Be careful with this, it's sweet. We got a lot of peppers in there. A couple quick shakes of the basil, as you can see here. And I like parsley, and I think parsley helps you not get indigestion so bad when you eat all these other spices. Sometimes it might give you a little acid indigestion. I think a good dose of parsley helps prevent that. And I know if you add a little cream or milk in here, it will. That's like a bolognese sauce, but a little bit. Sometimes I'll rinse the jar out with milk, and then you won't get any acid indigestion or acid reflux from that sauce at all. And then we got a little bit of onion powder. Just a couple little shakes. We got a lot of onion in there, caramelized. And we put garlic in, but I'm going to add some more. This is a good dose of the garlic powder. Not garlic salt. Stay away from that. Just plain garlic powder. See? Powder. We'll stir this all up. Them spices mix through. What I'm going to do, simply transfer this back over here. Plug it in, and I'm going to put it on the high setting until it starts to bubble, and then I'll turn it down to low. And we'll check back on that in a few minutes, maybe an hour or so. It's been about 3 hours now. As you can see, it's looking pretty good. See, I have mine on high and it's bubbling. Just gonna give it a quick stir. Scrape some of that goodness off the side. And now, I'm just going to put mine down on keep warm. Man, does that smell good. Okay, that's about the equivalent of cooking all day. We started this at 10:30 in the morning. It's now 7:30 in the evening. You can see how thick it got, and dark and rich. And like I promised, there's our pasta. This is no pasta. We're going to use this steamed, cooked tender. This is just those bags you buy and you steam in the microwave. But cooked tender cauliflower. You want it a little more on the tender side. And then the way we're going to do this is we're going to put generous portion of cauliflower in our pasta bowl. Then we're going to take some of our sausage pepper sauce. Pour that over the top. A little sauce around the edges maybe if you like more. Top it off with some Parmesan cheese. Maybe just another dash of parsley flakes. And there you have it. Bon appetit.